Good morning. Okay, wonderful. I'm going to talk about entrepreneurship, but from Vinny and Chris, one thing which became very obvious is that, what is more important is learning ability than learning. Okay? And I think that learning can actually come in multiple forms. So you can do learning if you're acting in plays, if you're playing games, or if you're engaged in entrepreneurship. Okay? And unfortunately, in the school system, there is too much of stress on just learning and not the other soft areas, as it were, that we should be working on. So what I will share with you is a project, okay, which TIE did, and it has been a very, very successful project. And I think from that project itself, you will realize that what were the benefits that were achieved. This was a global initiative to empower the next generation entrepreneurs. The first time this was done was by the Boston chapter of TIE. And I had gone for a TIECon in Silicon Valley, and I met one student who had graduated from that. And this guy was amazing. He was mere 14 years old, and we all started talking to him. Arjun Malhotra was at that time the chairman of TIE Global, and Arjun said, "Wow, this guy is a better salesman than me." And Arjun is a very, very reputed, recognized, he's the co-founder of HCL, and he was cat's whiskers when it came to selling. And for a thing like that to come from Arjun meant really a great sort of a compliment. And so we said that, let's start doing this. And when we came to India and when we talked to the board and we said, let's do the TYE program here in India as well, there were lots of naysayers. And the naysayers were basically saying that, at school level, it's okay if you do it at college level, but at school level, I don't know whether it will work or not. So lots of people having doubts. We said, let's go ahead and try it. And let's see what really comes out of it. And that's how TYE came up. And it ties in a lot of things. So it's not just entrepreneurship. Of course, entrepreneurship within itself combines a whole lot of those other adjectives that you see. Entrepreneurs always dream. Oops. Okay. Always dream. They are passionate about their various ideas which are there. And they learn to work in a very, very collaborative manner. They learn to lead people. They learn to think differently. They learn to take risks. And that is what is required in life. That's the real learning which is there. The TYE vision is, how can we create a global community of youngsters? The mission is, and you can read the core objectives. Since we are short on time, I'll just skip this part and start coming to the actual program. Now, we've been doing it now for the 8th year. In year 1, we had just about 20 students. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the number was 18. And most of them actually happened to be the TIE charter members, either children or somebody known to them. We literally sort of, gathered a group of 18 and let them go through the entire program and so on. Because at that time, there were lots of parents who would say, oh my God, there will be a course that will be run, it will be on Sundays. Sunday is the only day he gets. And then, there is this Monday assignment and stuff like that. All those kind of things, and what will happen to his grades? He's in class 10th, he's preparing for his 10th board, etc., etc. So we had 20 people, but great results, absolutely amazing results. And this year we have done it, 125 people. That's the sort of a scaling up that has just happened in 8 years. Nearly 600 people have gone through the TYE program so far. What we do there is that we talk to them about team building, we talk to them about marketing, we talk to them about how to put together a business plan, what is intellectual property, how do you do the financial modeling of a business, etc., etc. So really speaking, it is the leadership skills that are getting inculcated, that are getting imparted in the students who attend the TYE program. And who are the coaches? The coaches are some of TIE charter members. So all of them are very successful entrepreneurs. And, I mean, they come and spend 1 hour, 1.5 hours with the youngsters. That itself is, I mean, some of these guys are absolute role models of entrepreneurship, and that itself works out to be a great exposure. 1 month mentoring after the classes are over, which are on Sundays. Okay, of course, pizza is a great attraction for the youngsters to come there and have that. But after that, we have an intensive 1 month mentoring. By the way, once the classroom sessions are over, they form their own teams. Okay, and they are very often from different schools and stuff like that. So they find out who they gel with, they form their own teams. Then they decide what is the project that they're going to work on, and there are mentors who are there to guide them through that entire program. There's a business plan competition which happens in Delhi, and then after that, the winners of that go to the US and make a presentation there of their business plan. Earlier, it used to be at Boston at MIT, and now it is at Rice University. Okay, so that's the sort of an exposure that people get. And of course, from the Delhi chapter, we are very happy that people have been winning various things. This is just a sort of, a partial list of schools, people who've, schools which have sent people into TYE. But the interesting part is the one at the bottom. Okay, you have Mumbai, Bangalore, Jammu, Chandigarh, Ludhiana, Hisar. These are the places from where students have been coming because they've heard about TYE, somebody tells them, and this is the sort of a thing that has been happening with this program. Absolutely great feedback from the various constituencies. Here you have some feedbacks from the people who've gone through the TYE program, from some of the teachers who've been involved with it, from some of the parents that have been involved with it. It's there, right there, so I'm not going to read out. But if you just read some of the objectives, right directions, right pace, confidence about business, it's essentially about transforming. It's about making that fundamental change as far as people are there. And the best thing to illustrate this is through some actual things that have happened. Ashok Mittal, 15-16 batch, he built an app for taking the odd-even rule. This company got acquired by Orahi. He is now working on his second venture. And for that second venture, he has got some early funding already. 9 to 12, 19, 15, 16. So he must be just about 18 years old, already on to his second venture. Okay. Feed India, this particular team, they were basically talking about, that Pradeep, what can be done in terms of agriculture.
Pradeep, may I request?
This is the last, there's half a slide after this. So Feed India, they won the best elevator pitch. They are actually working on this particular project and converting that project into reality. One of them is on to his next ventures. He has left the Feed India team, but he is working in terms of mutual fund investments and stuff like that. Winner of the second batch won the second prize at the international TYE competition. All the team members got into Georgia Tech. Okay, and it was amazing. Georgia Tech takes, by the way, very, very few students. And it was because they had this entrepreneurial streak in them that entire group got into Georgia Tech. So it's not just that, you're making entrepreneurs out of them, but it is great that you can actually, they end up doing well, whether it is academics, or whether it is in corporate life. So that is the kind of a thing that has been happening there. By the way, I'll just like to share a very interesting story about this second batch. These guys, Heathrow, their flight got, at that time, I think it was the Queen's 75th or something of that sort. So therefore, these guys, their flight did not land. They missed their flight. They landed in the US. They landed without their baggage because all baggage was at Heathrow. Okay, now imagine these are all 15, 16-year-olds, team of 4 people, lands up in the US, no clothes, no nothing, and they survived one full 24 hours. Why? Because they were confident. They knew that they could achieve different kind of things. If they were entrepreneurs, they knew how to survive in a jungle. Okay? Thank you very much.